Populations and Resources Unit, Lesson 1.2, Mysterious Moon Jelly Increase. Activity 3, Exploring the Populations and Resources Sim. Throughout this unit, we'll be using the Populations and Resources simulation to help us learn about why the jelly population in Glacier Sea increased. Remember that simulations are scientific models. Scientists often make and use simulations to study the things they cannot observe or measure directly. For example, simulations like this one allow ecologists to observe changes they can't observe in real populations. The simulation is based on how real populations interact and will help us observe and understand how things work in an ecosystem. Students, explore the sim. Look for the following while you explore. You can use the Tracking Activity drop-down menu at the top of the screen to highlight all organisms that are eating, reproducing, or dying. You can tap on an individual organism to track its activity. A pop-up will appear to provide more information about what the organism is doing. You can add or remove organisms using the control panel on the right side of the screen. Note, holding down the buttons instead of tapping them will make the number of organisms change at a faster rate. You can press the Food Web overlay at the bottom of the screen to view the food web for the ecosystem. You can go to Analyze to review data about the ecosystem. This screen shows a food web. Each circle represents a population. Together, those populations make up the ecosystem modeled in the sim. Students, complete the sim. Make and record observations on your student screen. Key concept. Within a population, organisms are always being born and dying. What did you observe the organisms you tracked doing? Walking around, chasing prey, eating, and reproducing. What happened to the organisms you tracked? Organisms were eaten, organisms starved, organisms died of old age. In the sim, we observed that organisms reproduce, meaning they have babies. We also observed organisms dying. These two things happen in all populations. Organisms are always being born and dying. This is important. It is one of the things that ecologists need to understand as they investigate changes in population sizes. Remember that the Glacier Sea is a fictional place, but it is based on real Arctic ecosystems. For homework, you will read about a real Arctic ecosystem and choose a population in that ecosystem to learn more about. End of activity.